Good evening. How about that? Good evening and welcome to the regular Planning Commission meeting of the Sonoma Planning Commission. It's April 16th at 6 o'clock. And if we could get a roll call, please.
Yes. Commissioner Willers?
Here.
Commissioner Barnett?
Here.
Commissioner O'Gorman Jenkins?
Here.
Commissioner Dambach?
Here.
Vice Chair Nugent?
Here.
Chair WIRICK?
Here.
Thank you. I'd like to point out that Commissioner O'Neill is absent from tonight's meeting, and we wish her good luck on her race this weekend.
Thank you. So joined. Okay, at this time, is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Willers?
Yes.
Commissioner Barnett?
Aye.
Commissioner O'Gorman Jenkins?
Aye.
Commissioner Dambach?
Yes.
Vice Chair Nugent?
Aye.
Chair WIRICK?
Aye.
Thank you. The motion passes unanimously.
Thank you very much. At this time, we'll rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, at this time, members of the public may comment on any item not appearing on tonight's agenda. It's recommended that members of the public keep their comments to 3 minutes or less. For items appearing on the agenda, the public will be invited to make comments at the time the item comes up for commission consideration. Upon being acknowledged by the chair, please step to the podium and speak into the microphone. Begin by stating and spelling your name. At this time, does anybody have public comment? Thank you. Please step forward, sir. State your name.
Hello, my name is Marvin Brook. Am I on
Works?
the clock?
Yes, sir.
I'm on the clock, okay. I am a resident of 487 Angler. I'm coming here to discuss Vineyard Crossing project by City Ventures. I've sent each member, I didn't send each member, I sent the City Council and the Planning Commission emails this afternoon reflecting a meeting that occurred today between Michael Brewer and Kelsey Barnett of City Ventures with Doug Meigel, who's a resident in the area. Doug does not represent anybody, and neither do I. I'm a concerned citizen. I felt it was important at this time to discuss some issues related to the project. It is my understanding at this point they have not submitted a formal application yet. And I've been in discussions with Jacob Dunn, who's kept me informed on the project. I wanted to highlight some of the things from this email, and you could comment on them and take them in. Again, I can't verify it. This is the message he sent out. I'm going to cherry pick some of the key paragraphs. You could read the whole thing. This is one of the paragraphs. This is City Ventures. Again, they haven't applied yet. It turns out City Ventures is being pushed by the city to make this development as high a density as possible. Apparently, some city council members and the city planner, not sure who that might be, are pushing this parcel to remain designated mixed use, which it is, use with a revised density of 15 minimum to 25 max per acre, 25 denser than the current units, 0 to 20 per acre. It's my understanding that the city council does not have that arbitrary power to just change that. So that's, again, Doug Meigel's interpretation of what he heard. Another area that I will read directly, it says, it turns out that City Ventures has been pushing back against the density that the city is mandating. In other words, it sounds like there's been a communication between the city and City Ventures about this project that the application was needed to be revised, hasn't been resubmitted yet. And it talks like City Ventures might be looking to reduce the density. They're implying that the city council and somebody on the planning commission is pushing for a higher density. Names aren't named, okay? So Doug is responding as if we in the community have to push harder. Another part is they also believe that they will not have to go through a CEQA EIR, given the emergency evacuation route assessment report, which established that that property is in a choke point. I hope that the city council will incorporate that in their general plan, but most certainly, I hope that that safety issue is incorporated in any EIR. Again, another quote. This is City Ventures would like to meet anyone interested to discuss the plan. I would like to see it downsized. This is Doug. But apparently, the city planner has reluctantly agreed to support the 40-unit plan. I'm stunned to hear that how can you support a plan that hasn't even been submitted yet? Basically, I'm very concerned about the fact that these discussions may have occurred. I can't say for sure that Doug interpreted his meeting with Kelso Barnett and Michael Brewer properly, but I've sent all of you the emails. There's a stream of conversations between Michael Brewer and Doug about meeting. I totally object to the whole project. Our neighbors object. Our neighbor who lives right next to it, who has a huge property, objects. So I just wanted to get this out there for everybody to understand. Now, I don't know if you could respond to it at the time, but again, bottom line, they're saying conversations have gone on between the city and City Ventures. Names weren't named, but it says a city planner. I don't know if they're referring to you, Jennifer, or what, but we as the public think we have a right to know if there are discussions going on about a project where the application hasn't even gone forth. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. And to your point, sir, we are unable to respond to, okay, thank you.
I have sent the full stream of emails to the city planning email and to the planning commission.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate your comments. Are any other members of the public here to address the commission tonight on items not appearing on the agenda? Okay. And with that, we will close public comment. Moving on down to item 5.1. Consideration and I'm missing a page.
Oh, no, it's on the back side. No, you are missing a page. Here, take mine.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you got me. You got me.
You did good.
Ah. Okay, moving on to the public hearing. Item 4.1. Oh, excuse me. We'll move on to the consent calendar. Item 3.1. Receive the minutes from the regular planning commission meeting on March 19th.
Motion to approve.
Unless anybody would like to pull anything, can I entertain a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Willers,
I'm going to abstain. I wasn't here.
Commissioner Barnett,
Aye.
Commissioner O'Gorman Jenkins,
Aye.
Commissioner Dambach,
Yes.
Vice Chair Nugent,
Aye.
and Chair WIRICK.
Aye.
Thank you. The motion passes.
Okay. At this point, I'll close the consent calendar, and now we'll move on to the public hearing. Item 4.1, discussion, consideration, and possible action to approve a use permit for the use of 3 suites on the first floor for a meeting hall and offices on a mixed-use property at 430 West Napa Street. Is there a staff report?
Yeah.
Thank
Good
you,
evening,
Jake.
Commissioners. Jacob Dunn, Associate Planner. And as stated, I will be talking about the item for a use permit for a meeting hall and offices at 430 West Napa Street. The property is located in the West Napa Sonoma corridor. It's on a 13,000 square foot property and zone mixed use. And it's also surrounded by residential and mixed use properties. The project proposes an interior remodel of the first floor, which will include the removal of some shared walls within the Suite E. Give a second. Okay, we're good? Okay. So there's going to be some removal of some shared walls within Suite E so that they can expand the space to be used for a meeting hall, which will be utilized by Alcoholics Anonymous meetings. A new shared entryway will be constructed between Suite F and the proposed Suite G on the other side of the first floor, which will be operated by the same tenant, which is Align Recovery Centers, and that's going to include specialized health, wellness, and behavioral health work. And then there's also going to be a new entry constructed at the rear of Suite G. So this gives you the elevations for the south side, which is on the West Napa Street. That's going to
4:30.
430 West Napa. I can, here, let me go back to this one here, which is next to 4th Street West. It's on the corner there. Yeah. So that front face will remain the same, and then here's the north elevation that's on the faces the parking lot, and there will be a new doorway constructed at the spot that has the red square there. So these floor plans show you the removal of those walls marked in yellow, which will open up that Suite E for the meeting hall, and then the shared doorways where they'll be constructed is in red for Suite F, and then proposed Suite G, and then you can see the red doorway at the back for the Suite G as well. So I wanted to bring it up as a point of discussion. The site currently lacks alternative transportation facilities for the first floor units as well as the second floor units, which are residential. I wanted to bring this forward for discussion just to consider how the standards should be applied either to this project if the applicant feels that they're capable, or on future projects, because the code doesn't specify when this should be applied. Instead, it just states that a new use, bicycle parking standards, state that each land use shall provide bicycle parking. It doesn't say new, it just says each. It doesn't specify when it should be applied. So I thought with the introduction of this new use of like a meeting hall, that it might be for consideration. And then based on the proposed land uses there with the offices and the meeting hall, it would require 2 long-term and 2 short-term spaces. That's not including the residential land use, given that that's already existing. It's not changing at the moment. So I didn't include the number of spaces that would be required for that. But in accordance with the findings, the proposed project encourages residential and pedestrian presence through these mixed uses. The use is consistent with the zoning district and complies with all of the development standards. It's also compatible with the previous uses, which were offices, and the neighboring uses in the vicinity. And then the project also involves minor changes to the structure that aren't expected to impair the character of the surrounding area. So staff is recommending Planning Commission approval of the use permit for the meeting hall and offices at 430 West Napa Street. We are available for questions, and I believe the applicant is available as well. Thanks.
Thank you, Jacob, for your staff report. Questions by the commission? Sure. The order doesn't bother me either way. Is the applicant present wishing to address the commission? Come forward, sir. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Michael Ohayon, spelled O-H-A-Y-O-N, and I'm the Chief Operating Officer at Align Recovery Centers and one of the managing members of the new entity that recently purchased the building.
Thank you for being here.
My pleasure. I think in general, this is an opportunity to really offer benefits to the community and to the city of Sonoma. There are a number of residents that are being displaced from the community center and the AA meeting now. They don't have a home to go to, and they've got the clock is ticking. I think they have 6 weeks to be out of the community center. So this approval will allow them to occupy that space. They're going to be coming with some building permits, I think, very quickly here, to ask for permission to demise the interior walls and be able to set up shop. They've been in the community center for 40 years. So this is a good move for them. It's also, all in all, a wonderful opportunity with us bringing in an outpatient program, which is sorely lacking. The closest ones are, I believe, in Vallejo and in Santa Rosa. So this will allow people, part of that is also we're looking at bringing in a DUI program so that residents who unfortunately suffer DUI a DUI conviction can take their classes locally as opposed to having to drive out of town, which of course is doubly difficult when you don't have a driver's license. So so the hope is that you permit us to come in and do the good work that we're hoping to do.
Great. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. While you're standing, before you sit down, we'll take questions from the commission,
Sure.
and some may be addressed to you if that's okay. Commissioner Barnett.
What are the proposed hours of operation?
So for both AA and the IOP offices, I think AA starts classes around 7:30, or their first meeting, I think, is at 7:30 a.m. And the last one is typically 7:30 p.m. They do, around the holidays, run what they call the Alcathon, which is an overnight thing that very few people really attend, particularly overnight, but they're there to help support. Other than those, I think 3 days a year, it would typically be 7:30 a.m. to about 8:30 p.m.
8:30. And how do the residences upstairs feel about this use and the potential for activity there into the 8:30, 9 o'clock range? Because it'll break up at 8:30 and then people will talk and walk out into the parking lot and get in the cars and all the rest of it.
Sure.
So how do the residents feel about it?
Well, obviously there was a notice on the door and notifying all of them, and we did. I'm not sure if the city did. I would assume you sent letters, but I also did notify them of tonight's hearing. There's been no comment. Ultimately, right now there are only two sets of residents upstairs. Two of them are vacant. One of them is being taken by my wife and I shortly, and the other will be taken by one of our employees. So I think we're probably okay on that front.
Particularly if we're on that side of the building.
That's correct, sir.
Thank you.
Any other commissioner questions? Commissioner or Vice Chair Nugent, please.
What is the status of the building? It was a Mattson-owned property, and it was in the bankruptcy pool. Has it been sold?
We just closed escrow this past Friday, ma'am.
Fabulous.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's great news. And then it looks as though, and maybe this was pre you guys coming in there, but it looks like there's been a lot of demolition going on in that building.
Yes. What's happened is a prior tenant in the commercial space that we're looking to occupy and do some work at apparently thought it would be a wonderful idea when they removed the refrigerator to take that water supply line, and instead of capping it or turning off the valve, they folded it in half and put a rubber band on it and stuck it in a garbage can, and they thought that would probably work pretty well. I'm not sure how long that was the case. It appears that somewhere around the first of the year, that rubber band broke and it flooded the suite. And so the prior owners hired remediation company. They opened the walls. They had to open up all the walls in that suite. Thankfully, it didn't get outside of that suite. But they had to open up all the walls like anywhere from 2 to 4 feet up, bring in specialists to test the air, make sure mold remediation and everything else took place. So that's all been done. And so it kind of looks like a jack-o'-lantern now at night when the lights are on. So.
And is it your company that is the purchaser of the?
Yes, I'm one of the partners. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Do we know what the use was prior to your acquisition? Was it
Offices, I think one was a doctor's office or a dental office at one point. I think prior to that it was a hospital, way back when, and then, way back to 91. And I believe Mattson kept a property management office there as well. I'm told, but I don't know for sure.
To answer your question, it was formerly the health center.
Right. Okay, great. Thank you. Any other questions? Okay. Any questions of city staff? No.
No, but I'll make a motion.
Okay.
Public comment.
You are making a motion for public comment, right? Okay. Well, motion approved. We'll have public comment. So at this point, I'd open public comment for this item. Any member of the public in attendance wishing to address the commission on this item can do so now. Okay, seeing none. Close public comment, and I'll bring it back to the commission for discussion or a motion. Commissioner Barnett.
I will make a motion
I actually,
up.
I'm sorry, I missed you.
yeah, before we make a motion, I wanted to address the bicycle situation. And, you know, given, first of all, I appreciate what you're doing. Thank you. But I'm thinking about the clientele, as you just mentioned, and it probably, there are people who will arrive on a bicycle. So I would like to suggest a motion to include the suggested amount of bicycle parking for this before we make the motion. And the motion would be to approve with the addition of the suggested number of bicycle parking stanchions.
Yes, so so there's two parts of this. So the first is it's basically two regular spaces and then the two of the enclosed spaces. So do we want to just do 4 open and make them,
Okay,
yeah, and then is that okay?
if,
As
I
a
would
condition.
welcome, yeah, I would welcome the applicant back and give you the floor. Do you have any intentions of installing bike parking regardless, or?
Well, it was news to me.
Okay.
Having said that, I'm okay with 4 open spaces. The enclosed ones can be rather expensive, and we're not, you know, it's not a real estate or a legal office or anything. We run on a budget, so.
Okay. I have a question for staff. How has the bicycle parking component been applied in the past? Do we have any historical precedent for how we've applied that? I understand your representation that it was applied to uses, but how has that condition been applied in the past?
We've been applying it to new developments as they come in.
Okay.
So the question is, change of use could trigger that, if that's the intent, with our developments that currently exist today, and it would allow for the ability to put some bike parking in certain spaces, if that is the intent or a policy direction that we want to do.
Also, another thing is with the long-term spaces, it does state in the code, it's just that they need to be covered. It doesn't necessarily state that they need to be locked in. So that was just another, when I included that, I think having just 4 standard is pretty consistent still, even with long-term, because long-term is just really for weather protection. So.
Okay. Do any other members of the commission have opinions on whether or not to condition the approval upon the installation of bicycle parking? Commissioner Willers?
Well, I certainly, I think the open bike rack that contains 4 is the proper solution here. The site plan's really constrained. Going to be difficult to find even a room for a rack, other than in the front of the building. So, long-term boxes are kind of, in my mind, kind of not a good thing to require of this project. All the changes of use at this building over the period of time since it's been built have never had that requirement brought upon it. It's basically a new requirement. So.
Any other thoughts? Yeah, I'll just say that given the precedent of applying the bicycle parking standard to new development, I don't know that I'd be comfortable conditioning the approval of this use permit based on the installation of bike parking. I accept the applicant's representation that he intends to do it anyway. I don't think I'd support conditioning the approval on his installation of bike parking. But we have a motion on the floor. We do. Is there a second for the motion?
I'll second it. But, I'm sorry.
Right.
I withdraw my second.
Okay. I'm sorry? Is, Commissioner Dambach, do you have an alternate motion, or is there any other alternate motion presented at this point?
Well, I was going to move to approve the project with the incorporation of 4 exterior non-long-term bicycle parking spaces or a rack.
I believe that was Commissioner Dambach's motion,
Oh,
conditioning the approval of the installation of 4 bike racks.
I'm doing great tonight.
Well, so am I. We're on the same page.
Verbally, we've heard the applicant is going to.
Yes, so fine, I will again second the motion. If
Okay.
it's still
The one
viable,
that's been rejected.
Yes.
You gotta do it.
we have to start over.
Okay.
Okay, so it hasn't been rejected, technically, because you haven't voted. So
Right.
we had a first, a
First.
motion, and a second,
But the
because the
second-
second was pretty much the first, so we're gonna go with that as a second. So there can be an alternate motion on the floor, and then that one will be voted on first. If there's no alternate motion, you can ask for the vote to be called.
Okay. Is there an alternate motion? I will make a motion to approve the use permit as it's proposed.
Second.
So then the second motion is now the
On the
one
floor.
that's on the floor and called for the vote.
Okay. We have the last motion. There's a second to my motion. Can I get a roll call, please?
Yes, Commissioner Willers,
No.
Commissioner Barnett,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Gorman Jenkins,
Aye.
Commissioner Dambach,
No.
Vice Chair Nugent.
Aye.
And Chair Wyrick.
All right.
The motion does not carry.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry, the
No,
motion
it
carries.
was,
Yeah.
I feel like I should have brushed up on Robert's Rules of Order.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, the motion carries.
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
I swear your city government is sometimes competent.
I'm quite sure. I've been happy with staff
Thank. Okay.
for everyone.
Your use permit has been approved. Thank you.
Thank you all very much. Have a great night.
Okay. With those gymnastics, we will move right along. We will move along to item 4.2. Discussion, consideration, and possible action to approve a variance for reduced garage setbacks and a larger driveway at 863 Hayes Street. If there's a staff report, please.
Absolutely. So, as you stated, this is for a variance for a reduced garage setback and a wider driveway, 863 Hayes. Property is located in the central west planning area. It's about 8,700 square feet and zoned residential low density. It's also surrounded by residential properties. The applicant will be constructing a single-family home and an accessory dwelling unit on a vacant parcel. They're requesting a variance for a 2-car garage that would be placed at the front of the residence that would extend out 24 feet. The standard for garages in the zoning district is a 5-foot setback from the front of the residence. So the variance is also necessary for the width of the driveway as well, which is proposed at 20 feet, and the standard is 14. This site plan here provides some of that perspective of the property that helps you identify its constraints. At the rear end of the property, you're going to see this 15-foot easement. This is the line here, which requires a further setback for that ADU, which is right here. This reduces the rear yard space available, so placing the garage 5 feet from the front of the residence would require a reconfiguration of the structures on the parcel and reduce the front and rear yard. The applicant's requesting a variance to place that garage as shown here to preserve that front and rear yard space, and the applicant would also like to have a wider driveway to make it better for access and more space for accessibility. So here's an image of the street facing north from the vacant parcel. You can see that on this street, there's all these houses have garages at the front. The one on the furthest left with the windows, it does have a garage entry on the north side. You just can't see it from this angle. Here's looking south. The vacant parcel is at the farthest left. And these are the same houses, just a different perspective of them. And this is across the street. So there was a housing development there that has garages that were all built in the rear. None of these houses have garages accessible from the front, but just giving you a full view of the full street.
And remind me where Hayes Street is, where the adjacent street.
Let me go back for you. So we got We got West MacArthur Street, and then there's 5th Street West on the furthest to the west as well.
Yep. Yeah, no, I know where it is. This is near the parcel that the Sebastiani family deeded to the city for a park.
That is correct. Good?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so here's just some views. This isn't for design review, but just to show you the east and west elevation. That's the front on the top, the rear on the back, or sorry, the front on top, the back, the rear on the bottom. Sorry, that was so weird. North and south elevation, so each side of the home, that was mixing that up. And so in accordance with the findings, the adjustment's consistent with the general plan and preserves the tree on the property, as well as eliminates a gap in the sidewalk because of frontage improvements on that street as well. The property faces special circumstances that limit the available space for development, and granting the variance would allow better use of the overall space. The adjustment wouldn't grant any special privileges that the neighbors aren't already entitled to, and the variance wouldn't negatively impact the public health, safety, or welfare. So staff recommends Planning Commission approval of the variance for a reduced setback, driveway setback, and a larger driveway at 863 Hayes Street. And we're available for any questions. I believe the applicant is also here to answer any questions as well.
Great, thank you very much, Jacob. Do any members of the commission need to disclose any ex parte communication with the applicant? Seeing none, okay. Does anyone have questions for Jacob based on his presentation? Seeing none, I believe the applicant's in the audience. Are you interested in addressing the commission on anything, or there's no requirement? Seems pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I've waited a long time for this to happen.
Well, come on up. If you just state your name, sir, and talk into the microphone, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, Andrew Lanter, Lanter. 63 is the lot I bought with intent to build. My son lives next door at 855 Hayes Street, and basically I wanted to live there because of the two granddaughters. I just lost my wife December 7th, 24.
Very sorry.
And I have a cold. I apologize. I just really want to build it, and given all the other houses I've seen on that street, the garages are pretty straightforward, and except for across the street with the new smaller, I don't know what they call them, condominiums or townhouses. So I know it's all give and take. I believe all the other houses have a 12-foot variance, and we're required to have a 15-foot variance setback. Easement. So I don't truly understand all the reasoning for that, but I do want to build.
Great. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you guys.
Do any members of the commission have any questions for the applicant? No. Okay. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks.
Do any members of the public want to come forth and address the commission on this topic? Please come up and state your name, please.
My name is David Lanter, Lanter. Do you want to pull up the picture of that sycamore tree? So that tree, it's on the southeast corner. It's the only tree on the lot. The way we designed the building and everything was to stay away from that tree so we don't got to cut into the roots. Also, you know, with insurance companies having the tree hang over your house and everything. So we'd like to keep the tree, and the variance would help us do that.
Great.
That's it.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, seeing no other members of the public in attendance, I will close public comment and bring this back to the commission. Any members of the commission have any comments? Okay. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the variance as submitted with the findings in the staff report.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Willers,
Yes.
Commissioner Barnett,
Aye.
Commissioner O'Gorman Jenkins.
Aye.
Commissioner Dambach.
Yes.
Vice Chair Nugent.
Aye.
Chair WIRICK.
Aye.
Thank you. The motion passes unanimously.
Congratulations, Seal.
When do you break ground?
Tomorrow.
I wish you the best of luck.
Okay, great. That concludes
That's great
tonight's.
news. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
That concludes tonight's public hearing. We will move on to item 5.1, consideration and direction on the 2026 Planning Commission Annual Work Plan. Director Gates.
Good evening,
Good evening.
Chair and Commissioners. Let's disconnect. Disconnect. So this was a continuation from our last meeting, and it's our annual work plan. There we go. Ooh, that's small. All right. So what we're looking to do is to update our work plan from the last, sorry, I moved it. There it goes. My HDMI connection is very sensitive. So the first item on the work plan from last year that would continue into this year, which is my recommendation, would be the general plan update, because we're still in process, though all elements have been reviewed and submitted back to the consultants. There will be another round of review as well as the environmental document coming forth, and when that does, we'll do that. As part of this group, for this ad hoc, which I forgot to add Sheila, so sorry about that. We also will start the related code update. So that's what we're going to focus on quickly here, is more on that side of things as we wait for the other documents to come forward. It is funded, it is consistent with our council priorities, and again, hopefully completed this fall. The next item is, and a really important one, and I really need to spend more time on it, I'm not gonna lie, is the housing element implementation. We did some of that this past year with the adoption of some of the ordinances that we did at the end of the calendar year, and we have some more to do. We've talked about one of the items being that we hired somebody to assist us with the inclusionary feasibility analysis, as well as an update to our affordable housing fee. So that has been underway for about 1.5 years. However, we are doing a comprehensive fee update, and that fee will affect the actual impact. So I need to get those fees kind of settled, which I'm hoping to have a better understanding actually next week. The finance committee is going to be meeting, and we're going to be talking about fees again. So I don't know if you saw it, but we did put out an announcement about the fees and published them. So all of our proposed fees are available for review for all departments or service areas. So once we get that, we'll have that underway. So hopefully again this fall we'll have an update for that inclusionary ordinance and as well as fees. The other items are some stuff that we need to do as far as updating our website, and then also there's additional code changes that need to be made. Outside of that, for the housing element implementation. We have community involvement activities, and I am working with the district supervisor on creating something for the valley around affordable housing and access to different needs that individuals may have in like a housing fair. Hopefully, again, this year that will happen. It was going to happen earlier in the year, but I think with everything going on at the county, it was put on hold a little bit. So we'll see how that goes. And you will see the ADU ordinance this year, for sure. The next item is affordable housing in regards to the funding, and that is all on me. That was my fault. I did not ever hold that meeting. I apologize. And so I won't make you disband, and I will put you back to work. I promise. This year. Now that I'm not writing a general plan. And then the other item is the sign. We should have we talked about it next month. You'll have one more study session with just the last bit of questions, and then we're thinking that we'll have it all ready for you for adoption in June. So that one's almost done. And then the last one, which was added last year, was the vacant structures and demolition by neglect. So again, on me for not putting that one forward and getting that ad hoc going. But we should be able to get that going this year if that is still something that we want to focus on. I did not add anything new at this point. I don't know if anything, so this is where I open it up to you all. We did have on our kind of waiting list, something that we need to do at staff is update our wireless to be compliant with federal laws. Another one we talked about was fences and hedges, the update to the tree removal ordinance. I am currently working with Dave Jans, our Parks Director, to determine whether or not we're going to do an urban forestry management plan at all, or this year. So those are my questions. So we're working through that. We are right now also working on the budget for the next fiscal year, and so that will kind of help determine whether or not we actually undertake that plan. And then the last thing was the night sky ordinance. This is the one that I would actually recommend that we bump up, because it's really becoming apparent with some of these new projects that we need to rewrite our lighting code.
Developments or just individual properties and neighborhoods that are kind of being
It would be development, new development. So it wouldn't be just the entitlement side of things, but also the building code where we would enforce any kind of lighting compliance. And so we wouldn't go around and impact people for their lighting that they've installed today. But if they were to replace it with new fixtures, then we need to make sure that they comply. So that we'd also have to comply with the building code as well for energy standards. So that's when we would actually apply it for any existing structures. So for new structures, though, this night sky ordinance, I think, is needed. I'm seeing requests for, though we do have it saying no uplighting. We're seeing more of that idea of uplighting and then also lighting everything versus what's needed to be lit.
question. So in that vein, and maybe it's just me, but I seem to think, I seem to see a lot of kind of random lighting of trees and like all year long, not just Christmas lights up in your pine tree, but various, and some of them are just downright like,
Right.
yeah, and then they're, you know, what does the neighbor see as they're, you know, falling off to sleep and that kind
I
of.
can tell you.
So does this fall,
Blackout curtains.
does that fall under this? Like, do we, I mean, or can-
Right, so that's where we could enforce like the landscaping, lighting and things like that, as well. So this is where we can get specific, like we don't want you to light your landscaping, we want you to light because of security and for safety purposes, and focus on that aspect of lighting. Architectural features, you see lit palm trees, like they get the ring around it and they light up it. Ours is lit year round. The other thing about it though, it's about timing, right? And so one of the rules about even our lit tree is that it's supposed to turn off at night. I'm just gonna go on my little soapbox. Yeah, because what it is all the lights do impact bird migration at night. That's when they actually are doing a lot of that. And so that's one of the reasons why we want to make sure that lights are getting turned off or dimmed. That was something that we've talked about with some of the lights, like in the plaza area, of just dimming them because we have businesses still open and we want some safety and security aspects. But those are the types of things that would be discussed in that ordinance. And where we want to fall. Goodness, Sedona, it's yellow at night. Like it has this yellow glow. And that's a temperature, a light temperature. So we can have a whole lesson on lighting and discuss kind of what that looks like.
Okay, Commissioner Barnett has a comment.
I want to go back to this vacant structures, the previous page, I think. I would like to first of all know how we're defining a vacant structure.
I think that's what we have to do.
Okay, so we haven't even scratched the surface on this.
No.
Okay.
No, this is one of those that have come up because we have underutilized structures, and then we have structures that are boarded up, and what are those differences, and what are we looking to do, and because we can't make somebody use their building or rent their building.
No, what we can do obviously is embark on a survey or study that reports back on the number and condition of quote-unquote vacant or unutilized structures.
Excuse me.
Seems to me that that's going to be step one. I don't know if we have a small problem or a big problem. And part of the problem might end up being a definition of location, like the Eiler house on East Napa Street, which has been boarded up now for, well, more than a decade. You know, it's in a key location. I mean, it's visible. It's not like it's on a side street up north of Napa Road, Napa Street, and tucked away in a non-visible location. So there's going to be a lot to talk about in terms of standards and how we apply them. So, okay, thank you.
Agreed, and I think that inventory might be a good first step to the extent that we could do that. And to your point, the Eiler house now has a broken window, which those of us who study criminal justice know that has downstream impacts. Commissioner Nugent, excuse me, Gorman.
Oh, well, that's no
Blonde.
problem.
I'm sure you're flattered.
I am, very much so, very
We're
much
just
so.
all doing really good.
I know, we're
today.
doing great tonight. No, I just wanted to comment, this has come up, it's been brought to my attention by a number of residents. That particular structure on West Napa is particularly upsetting to a lot of the residents. We also have, I believe, a Craftsman stucco structure on Spain Street, yep. And so I would definitely like to see this prioritized. I believe you raised it last year. So strongly support this remaining on the priority list. And it looks like you've got a pretty sizable ad hoc, but would be happy to be part of the development with this if it starts as a survey. But from my prior reading, it sounds like we need to ultimately develop an ordinance, but I would definitely like to see this as a priority for our work plan this year. Thanks.
Great. Commissioner Della.
Yeah, I'll go to the next page, and I just want to offer support. I think for the night sky ordinance, I think that's incredibly important for maintaining our sense of place right now, and also for the implications on wildlife. So I would be willing to be on that, if it is an ad hoc, or just to put it forward to help flesh out that ordinance. And then with regard to the tree removal, what I'd love to propose is that once we do get the tree inventory, once that's completed and you have a sense of what the budget looks like, I think it just goes hand in hand with ensuring that we kind of maintain that momentum around our tree health in the city.
Great. I have a question. What, Director Gates, do you think the bandwidth is for staff to be able, or what is feasible in terms of escalating the as time permits items into the green? That I think that we still have some items remaining in there that need attention as well.
I would say 1.
Okay.
And the reason why I say 1 is because we should be finishing up the signs, excuse me, really soon. And then it's going to take a lot of bandwidth to do the code update. And that's going to be like a multi-year thing. We need to do what we have to do immediately. And then we can work on some of the other things as we go. One of the big things is like getting rid of planting areas potentially.
Right.
So that's going to be part of that conversation. That's why I'm saying 1. The other, there's on our list that's not on this list that we are working on, that Jacob's going to work on more quickly, is we have pieces of an urban ag ordinance, but it needs to be together and cohesive. So we have a section of our code that talk about beekeeping and chickens and things, but it's not referenced in our development code. I just found it the other day because we had a code enforcement on chickens. And so I was like, oh look, we've got all this stuff. Like, where did that come from? And so we need to just put it together nicely and then create it so that we can do more of that. When the planning commission approved the horticulture, a single family home, providing more opportunities for that to look correct, because we had to basically ignore one section of the code because it wasn't really applicable to a small single family lot. So how do we do that? So that's where he's gonna kind of compile all that, which should not take long at all. So, but we wanted to get that one going too.
Okay. I just, in light of everything going on in your department, I just want to be cognizant of.
Yeah, and if there's other ideas, I'm fine to put them on the waiting list.
Right. Commissioner Willers.
Well, I think, I think the lighting one is an important one from a community level standpoint as well as an environmental standpoint. And I also think it's one of those ones that is relatively easy to adjust and get out of the way. So if you pick one and you can get it done quickly, you've achieved something. And I think it'll have substantial impact moving forward. It definitely needs to be addressed. In my neighborhood, landscape lighting has become security lighting. In other words, it's on all night long. And it's uplit trees primarily, which means that it's uplighting ceilings in adjacent houses. And it's not good. So, anyway, I'd vote for that one being moved up to green.
Okay, thank you. Any other thoughts from the commission on escalating the night sky ordinance into the current goals? I would be supportive as well for the reasons that my colleagues have mentioned. Are there any other, as time permit, classified items that we haven't discussed that there may be interest in escalating as well? Or are we satisfied with? Okay. Director Gates, do you feel like you have a consensus on that?
Yeah, so I'll move night sky ordinance up, and that'll be our new work plan, and I will send emails out by May to every ad hoc committee. I saw two hands when we started talking about night sky that for an ad hoc, but I don't. And those are the same two as the general plan. So in that code, those code updates. So I could just make it the same one unless there's somebody else here tonight that wants to do that, work on the night sky stuff.
Is there any interest in sitting on a night sky ordinance ad hoc? Well, I have no objection to naming Commissioners Willers and Dombach to the night sky ordinance ad hoc.
Sounds good. All right. I'll lump it into the already standing ad hoc then. All right, I have what I need. Thank you.
Okay. Might the priority of the vacant structures and demolition by neglect match that of the night sky ordinance? Or I don't want to get too technical in ascribing priority levels to.
No, I won't say one's more of a priority over another. That's why I say everybody will get the email for your individual ad hocs at the same time.
Okay.
And then it's up to us as you guys as ad hocs and us as staff, helping you through that.
Great. Thank you. All right. Director comments and announcements.
So I just wanted to respond to the public comment tonight. I did send all of you guys the email. It did go into our planning inbox, not to planning commission. So I have forwarded that all to you guys so you can see what was said. I probably am the city planner that was stated in the comment. So just as a reminder, our planning department, our goal is always to bring you a project that meets the code and that is approvable. And that, as we get to know you all better and know how you comment on projects and things, we try to guide our applicants with that understanding. As to the, when projects come in, sometimes the applicants change their mind and they go back to the table, and when they do, we'll do, and if it's a big development, we'll do another study session on that project with whatever that revision looks like, and be able to give Planning Commission another opportunity to talk to that new revised project. The districts, the zoning districts obviously set our density requirements, and some requirements don't have minimum densities, but under the general plan process that we've undertaken, we've identified goals for our minimum density. So that's how we're proceeding as we work with applicants, as well as to inform them that may not be the case right now, but that is something that Planning Commission and City Council have identified to move forward as their minimum density. So just wanted to give you guys an update.
Great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Do you have any other comments or announcements?
Next Wednesday is the community meeting to talk about historic resources in our community. So this will, everybody's invited to come. It starts at 6. It's at the Vintage House. Our consultant that's preparing the citywide historic survey is going to present what the project is, how does it work, and then collect information from the community on themes, historic themes that they know of. People, basically this is the opportunity for everybody to talk about our history and educate our consultants on what is Sonoma. So it's going to be very exciting. I'm looking forward to it. And we should be at 2 hours. They've booked the whole 2 hours. They planned the whole thing out. So 6 to 8. Gonna start pretty much on time. So 22nd at Vintage. 6 o'clock, Vintage House on Wednesday night. I can ask Bob. I'll see if he can record it on YouTube. At least the beginning part, because I don't know the format. The other part of the format is going to be group work at tables and also on boards around the room.
Great, that's exciting. Anything else, Director Gates?
I don't think so. So the consultant for the Historic Resources Survey is Page and Turnbull. So they're the ones that also did our design guidelines for the city, and they've done other district updates for us in the past few years. And then we're also undertaking a historic landscape survey of the Plaza Park. And that actually will be done in a couple of months. So,
great.
Exciting times for history.
Okay, Commissioner reports and comments. Commissioner Della.
I just have a comment. I appreciate that now you're putting recommendations in the agenda. And I just wanted to thank you all for holding down the fort under the circumstances that have just been, we're going through with a change in our leadership.
I will echo those sentiments. Any other commissioner comments?
I have a comment, and just a comment positive for you all. I've had the occasion of just recently in people I know that have put forth projects and that they have just gone to the counter and have been treated very well, and it had gone smoothly, and they were so. Our streamlining, I think, is maybe starting to take effect, and I'm hearing about it, so that's really nice.
Are you patting
Thank you
yourself
for that.
on the back?
No, I'm giving them the congratulations that you're clearly,
I've heard the same thing in the community. Yeah. Any other comments? Okay, I have an announcement, I suppose. I came across a communication from the Sonoma Valley Collaborative that is advertising their Sonoma Valley Housing Affordability Roadmap initiative. And tomorrow, April 17th, via webinar from 10 to 11 a.m., they are announcing their launch of their Housing Affordability Roadmap. And there's like an overarching name for this.
Sonoma Valley Commons.
Sonoma Valley Commons, right?
Can I make a comment on that?
You sure can.
That's not the roadmap. As part of the roadmap, they have decided to create a nonprofit community development corporation that
Right.
is focusing in the valley, and that's the name of it. So very exciting.
Okay. I just wanted to make everyone aware in case they were wanting to attend the webinar tomorrow. That is all I have. Anything else? All right. Great. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
7:05.
Well, let's keep it going.
Should we bring some stuff up?
All right. No second needed.